Okay. Um, yes, we're live. Hello, hello, and welcome to my first few viewers. Skr and Magnus. What's up? Lila, Aritra. Welcome, welcome. Glad to see you here. Um, yes. So, what is this SKR? Well, I'm glad you asked. As I announced in my previous stream, so you all know that on Friday, which is the day after tomorrow, Path of Exile will release its new Challenge League. Woo! With new content and new stuff, and I am quite excited for it. Now, for someone who has played 4,000 hours of Path of Exile, I no longer so for the first few hours you kind of just make your build, right? For the first, I would say, for the first few hundred hours, you just you see a skill and you decide, hey man, this is a cool skill. I want to make a character that uses this skill. And then you just play, right? Go around the passive tree, pick up whatever nodes you feel like fit somewhat in your to the fit to the skill. And then once you reach that level, let's say, let's just say some arbitrary level, you realize that your build actually is kind of shit. So it doesn't work. And then you reroll. And then you do that again and again and again until you are 4,000 hours in. Now, what I find just baffling is that me, after playing 4,000 hours of PoE, I'm still hyped for every league. I don't think there are many leagues that I've skipped. I skipped maybe one or two in the entire history of Path. And every league they add something new that makes the game worth replaying, which is spicy, I would say. That speaks to their game design prowess. Zakaev, hi. Yes, of course. There are a absolute plethora of builds by people who are even better at build making than than me. But I personally just like to do stuff my own way because, you see, when you go on the Path of Exile subreddit, all you have is people that it's these horrendous people that are like, well, I mean, if you're not playing perfectly, then there's actually no worth in playing. Like, if you don't belong to the top 0.01%, then you're basically not playing the game correctly. I mean, that's obvious. These people are so pathetic, and oftentimes I feel like when you see someone make a build, they're making the build for this group of 0.01 top percent, where the game actually just stops being fun for me, right? There are items in this game that break the game. They're there for a reason, right? They are rare, extremely rare. Like you will never find them just by playing. But when you get them, they break the game, and you're basically hacking. And I mean, having someone then tell you, yeah, for this build you only need 2 of these items, and it's just, what the fuck is wrong with these people? So, and on the other side, I personally think that for most of the game, like if you're interested in playing this game, a build doesn't really matter that much, right? It doesn't, like if you follow some basic rules, you can do 90% of the content, or 95 even. It's only for the very last final bosses that this game has to offer, where you actually really need to. I'm not saying min-max, because then I'm sounding like these virgins again, but I'm saying like where you need to optimize in some way. Okay, where you cannot afford so many inefficiencies in your build. All right. And that is why I personally like to do my own builds. I'm using a tool that basically everyone who uses who wants to create a build uses, and that tool is called Path of Building. Yes, very, very sexy. Here you can basically, I mean, you've seen it in the first video, right? This is the Path of Exile passive skill tree. Quite a lot to choose from, and so it's a good idea to somehow plan your stuff ahead, right? Because you only have at the maximum 123 passive skill points, but that is when you reach level 100. Like in general, characters reach maybe level 85 or something, which is why I personally never go above 105 or 110 at the most. 110 is like the limit, because everything else you put in there, yeah, you can make your build better theoretically, but you're never going to get there. Okay, so the first question when making a build is kind of asking yourself, what do you want to play? Okay, and when answering this question, I usually go and look at what the developers. So every league they rework something or create something new, right? And this time, let's pull up the patch notes. Nope, wait. Bencho, why is this not working? Okay, maybe this works now. Okay, anyway. So, they have, this is the entire patch notes, everything they changed. And the things I usually look out for is skill reworks. No, first is the major content additions. And you can see here immediately, like they added a lot of skill gems. And in my last stream, I kind of showed you what skill gems are. They're basically the abilities that you can use, right? Now, in this league, every league they have like a few play styles that they want to push. In this league, they're kind of trying to push like the two-handed weapon, slow, powerful attacks, using war cries where your character like literally goes like "Wah!" and then something happens to the enemies in your vicinity. Then these are war cries. They actively empower your next attacks, and yeah. However, that is a playstyle that I very much am not interested in, which is why I'm not going to use this. Another thing that they add are brands. This stuff here. Now, brands were in the game already, but they've added a few new ones, and I'm especially interested in this one, Wintertide brand. However, since Path of Building is a community project and it's not endorsed by the developers themselves, this skill has not yet been added to Path of Building. So there's no way for me to actually plan with this. So what I'm instead going to do is, because 100% I am going to play more than one character during a league, I'm instead going to go to the part where they say what kind of skills they reworked, right? And maybe find a skill that's already in the game that used to be scheiß and is now usable. Now Warcries, not interested. These are Warcries, no. Sunder is a melee attack, specifically designed for slow, heavy attacks. No. Tectonic Slam, same thing, but fire damage, so no. Okay. Alright. Then what I'm going to do is go to skill balance, see if they've like rebalanced any skills, right? And this is of course this makes zero sense for someone who has no idea what these skills are. I personally would never not choose a skill because it's apparently not meta or not optimal. It's like if you're saying, oh no, this skill is unplayable because it only does 99% damage instead of the 100% that the best skill does, then you have officially entered the Reddit virgin territory. So don't do that. Now, in Path of Exile, you have attacks and spells, right? Attacks use your weapons, spells don't. Fireball, for example, is a spell. There's nothing here that looks too promising. I'm mostly interested in skills that can be used at range. For example, here these like Perforate or Static Strike. These are all only usable with melee weapons, and I'm really not a melee guy, so. It seems okay. So it seems that the build I'm planning on doing, which is a ranged bow attack build, has gained nothing new in the skill territory. However, as always, GGG reworks game mechanics as well, and these game mechanic reworks might in some way even impact how good a character is, even if he doesn't use any of the real new shit, right? It's just a mechanical update, but the mechanical update might change how you make your character and make it better or worse. Yeah. Oh no. The woes of painting Warhammer miniatures. Alright, let's first save this build, call it Harvest. Whoops. Bow Girl. Okay. Now, then, for the starting classes. I explained last time, in Path of Exile, you have these 7 starting classes, and they only determine what point on the skill tree you start on. That is true to a certain extent. Oh, Arita, what is a build? So in Path of Exile, you create your character, and then your character, while you play through the game, it gets stronger and stronger. And a build is basically the plan you make for yourself in what direction you want your character to go in, right? That is a build. Anyway, so the class you choose in the beginning determines where you start, but it also determines what ascendancies, which is basically like your subclass, is. And these are exclusive to everyone, right? Every base class has 3 ascendancy classes or subclasses, however you want to call them, and these are unique. So your starting class choice really does matter more than just where you start on the passive tree. Bovaboy, yes, this is the skill tree of Path of Exile. Magnus, so this entire passive skill tree is called passive skill tree because there are only passives here in this skill tree. You won't ever gain an active skill by picking up any node on this. So it's your passives. But the passives in here, they have a huge variety of stuff that they can influence. Like you have extremely basic stuff like this, 5% increased maximum life. Obviously you understand what this means, right? But you have bigger nodes. These are called notables. These bigger nodes are basically just better nodes, and they sometimes have some some stats that you cannot gain anywhere else. For example, this one here has increased effect of curses, which is a very, very rare stat. So that makes this one very valuable if you intend on using curses. And then you have these big ones. They're called keystone passives. And keystone passives fundamentally change mechanics of the game. They're basically what your character is built around in a certain way, right? The keystone passives, they really define a character, right? A perfect example, for example, is this one here. So in Path of Exile, as I said before, you have life and mana, and you spend mana to use your skills. However, when you attack very fast, and in the late game, mana costs become rather high, so sustaining your mana is not trivial. But then you have a keystone like this, removes all mana, and you instead spend your life to pay for your skills, right? This massively changes up how your character even functions, right? Suddenly you don't have to pay attention to mana anymore. However, there are skills that reserve mana to provide you a passive bonus, right? But you now cannot use them anymore because you wouldn't want to reserve your life, because your life is like, if you reserve 10% of your life, it's lost, right? So here again, this is not like a thing that everyone can pick up, right? As are all keystones. Keystones are really designed for certain character archetypes, and only if your character fits this archetype is it a good idea to pick up a certain keystone. Okay, now let's go here and pick the base class. I'm gonna pick the Ranger, because this is the, like, if you want to make a bow character, you're not forced to go Ranger, right? There are other Ascendancy classes or other classes that can be a Ranger just as well, and sometimes even better. But I personally like to keep it simple, keep it brain dead, and that's why I prefer Ranger, because I also prefer her Ascendancies. Magnus, no, there's not an active tree. Your active skills are determined by these skill gems. Have you watched the end of last stream? There, I went into the game and did a little bit of a small little tutorial on how active skills are obtained in Path of Exile. They're items. So you for example, as a quest reward, you get an active skill gem. And this is an item that you can put into sockets on your gear. And every skill gem that is inside a socket on gear you're wearing can be used by you, right? Obviously, if you have like a bow equipped, even if you socket in a skill that is like a melee attack, right, like lava strike or something, then of course you cannot use it, because you cannot use that with a bow. But in general, like, to use a skill, you need to socket it into your gear, which is the active part of Path of Exile, and this is the passive part. Is there any story in PoE? Oh, yes. Like, when I started playing PoE, it was like 20% of the content it had now. And there, I think the story was extremely well done, well crafted, mysterious, Lovecraftian, the horror beyond sight, and everything was like, as a good Lovecraftian horror should be. Like, the greater plan or the greater horror behind it all was never visible. It was always just, you only saw its consequences and never its actions. And however, now the content they created, they have so much content now. The story, they were forced to like push it into a certain direction. You cannot be vague like this forever. And nowadays, I would say the story is rather, well, it's not horrible, but nothing to write home about. It's just there. I don't find it that interesting, but I also don't find it cringe. I think it's okay. Especially on your first few playthroughs, you might discover something and find it rather interesting. I've just updated Path of Exile, Path of Building, Illidan. I think the PoE planner site is not yet updated because, in my experience, this one updates like instantly, extremely fast. For example, you can see if it's updated if you have this node here. In the Ranger starting area, there's this cluster of nodes, and this was changed right now. So this was changed right this patch. If this looks like this, then you have the newest version. Arita, I would love to talk about Bloodborne endings, but not today. Today we're doing build creation. But remind me on another stream, then I will gladly dive into Bloodborne and its endings. Oh, SKR, by the way, I will not guess. I think I said in one of the podcasts with Anton that I suspect Death Stranding would have cost $100 million. But I have no idea. So, do you have a number? How much did it cost to create Death Stranding? That would be really interesting. What? Free will versus determinism? That is a whole philosophy class right there. Let's keep these questions to when we're actually in the game, right? This time, let's focus on creating a build because that actually demands quite a lot of brain attention power. So it was around 100 million. So damn, I'm so good. Anyway, okay. Right. So these three ascendancies here are what you can choose as a ranger. This one is the Deadeye. It's focused on mainly projectiles. Now in Path of Exile, you got to be careful. The wording on everything they do is rather specific, meaning this ascendancy, it has a woman with a bow, but it doesn't mean you have to use a bow. This is all about projectiles. There are many other things that can fire projectiles. If you fire a fireball, that is not an attack, that is a spell, but it's still a projectile. So you might sometimes see people use this ascendancy because it's projectile based in very unexpected ways, and that is one of the genius things about Path of Exile. You might find things interact with each other in unexpected and very interesting ways. Anyway, so this is like, but every bow skill is also projectiles, right? So this does make sense for a bow character. Then we have this ascendancy, which is in my opinion the absolute worst piece of scheissdreck that this game has to offer. It's based around these flasks, right? You get special bonuses while drinking flasks or while under the effect of flasks. Absolute zero fun ass. And this one here is built around another mechanic that is called frenzy charges. Now, what frenzy charges are is really not that important. Just think about them as some skills give you charges, and they're like temporary buffs that you can have. It's a little colored. Frenzy charges are little green blobs that float around your character. They're there for 10 seconds after you, like, through whatever means you get them. They're active for 10 seconds, and for this time, they give you like a bonus. And by themselves, you can have a maximum of 3. And just by itself, frenzy charges are not like they're good, but they're not absurd. And the idea with these charges is that you can somehow increase the maximum. Right here, you have +1 to maximum frenzy charges, and then you gain like a massive amount of frenzy charges and get skills that give also additional bonuses per frenzy charge. Right here, for example, this makes your frenzy charges each give even more bonuses. And that is basically the idea behind this Raider Ascendancy here. Okay, so I am very simple in the Kopf. And as like a league starter, as the first character you make in a league, while you have 0 other items, 0 currency, 0 unique items, I just try to keep it simple. Wait, Deadeye for RDR, Flask for Darks, Red Dead Redemption, Dark Souls, Bloodborne. What? Not ums? Can I? I cannot follow. But if this is the way you understand it, all the better for you. Okay. Hey, Spooty, welcome. All right. Now, your character in total is going to have 8 points that he can spend here, right? Inside of this. So when you reach a certain level, you have a special event in the game that allows you to choose your Ascendancy and place 2 points. And then, while you progress in the game, you will get 6 more, meaning you will have a total of 8 points to spend inside of your Ascendancy. Now, if you can count, you might have already seen that this means you cannot get everything. Which is okay, right? You would maybe want everything, but you can only get 8 of these nodes. The smaller ones are not that good. It's all about these larger nodes. They give like really incredibly specific, but also incredibly powerful in that niche nodes bonuses. For example, let's just start here, right? Projectiles pierce 3 additional targets. As you've seen at the end of last stream, I socketed my fire arrow with the pierce support gem, and suddenly my arrows pierced enemies. Now this here makes me pierce even more targets. Good. Then projectiles have 100% increased critical strike chance against targets they pierce. Wow. Now be very careful here. If it says 100% increased critical strike chance, it doesn't mean they will always critically strike, right? That's one of the things where Path of Exile is a little vague and counterintuitive. But it means that your base critical strike chance, however that may be, usually it's around like 6 to 9%, depending on what equipment you use and stuff. This base chance is increased by 100%. So if you have a base chance of 9% and you pick up this node, you will have a chance of 18% of critically hitting enemies you pierce. And projectiles pierce all nearby targets, meaning if enemies are very close to you, they will always get pierced. Nice. They will always get pierced. Okay. Next up, what we have. This is a very generic node, right? Gives you 10% attack speed. Attack speed is always good in this game. Projectile damage, very simple. Accuracy rating, because as if surviving in this game is not hard enough, actually dealing damage in this game is also hard, because when you attack, you have a chance to miss, right? You can always miss. And your chance to hit an enemy is determined by your accuracy and the enemy's evasion. Meaning having more accuracy makes you hit enemies more frequently, or makes your chance to hit them higher. So that's good. And then 100% blink and mirror arrow cooldown recovery speed. This is really not that important for you when you start out. So let's just skip over that. What else do we have? 1,000 evasion rating while you have Tailwind. If you use the skill recently, you have Tailwind. 10% increased effect of Tailwind for each skill you've used recently up to 100%. So as you already can kind of make out, Path of Exile, the wordings here are not, they're clean in a way, but also since everything is so specific, the wording sometimes isn't as elegant, right? But basically what this node does is it makes you, so Tailwind increases action speed by 10%, meaning while you're doing stuff, you are faster. This is what this node gives you. Tailwind makes you faster. Great. What else do we have? Rupture. Attacks have 25% chance to cause bleeding. Bleeding is a damage over time effect. When you hit when you hit an enemy with physical damage, and you have a chance to bleed them, they will take additional physical damage over time. And then you have different bonuses, right? More critical damage, more critical strike chance against bleeding enemies. Gain life when you hit a bleeding enemy. It's okay. What else do we have? Here, another note. 30% increased projectile speed, so how fast they fly. And far shot. Projectile attacks gain damage as they travel farther, dealing up to 30% more attack damage with hits against targets. Meaning, the farther away an enemy is, the more damage you do. Okay? What else? Now, these nodes here, these 5, can be reached with 2 points, right? So, and this one here, Ricochet and Endless Munitions, they can only be reached in 4 points, which makes these 2 the most powerful ones in this Ascendancy. One of them is skills chain plus 1 time, and they deal 10% more damage for each remaining chain. Now, projectiles in Path of Exile can either hit something and that's it, or they can pierce, as you have seen in my last stream. Pierce means they go through the enemy. They can also fork, which means when they hit something, it splits into 2, right? Very powerful. And the projectiles then fly outward. Or they can chain, which is basically when they hit something and then they chain to another enemy, right? Which is, you fire an arrow, it hits someone, and then it chains to another enemy. And depending on how many chains you have, it might repeat this behavior for a while. There are, for example, skills that chain like 10 times, right? Yeah. Okay, so if you build around this, not bad. And here we have Endless Munitions. Again, some flat accuracy. Note the difference here. You get 200 flat accuracy, and here you get 50% more global accuracy. So it's always advisable in games like this, but it's usually the same with all character building RPGs, that you have like a balance between flat increases and percentage increases. Because just doing the math in your head, if you have a very low base value and then you stack percentage increases, they're not as efficient. But if you have a very high base value and low percentage increases, you also get just low increases. And that is why it's always good to keep it like in a balance, right? Balance out your flat increases with percentage increases. Then we have 50% increased area of effect. Oh, many skills. That's kind of self-explanatory, right? Skills have an area of effect. And they affect everything in their area of effect. Duh. And 50% increase, it's pretty nice. And skills fire an additional projectile, also highly sought after stat. Oh, nice. Yeah, Sakai, feel free to download the game and join me on Friday when we all start the league together. Okay. Now the skill I'm going to use, I'm going to go here into skills, type in bow, and now I get a list of all bow skills that this game has. Right? These are all the active skills that you can use with a bow. Here, these, for example, Toxic Rain, you fire arrows that rain down acid and shit. This is more, like, this does very little damage on hitting an enemy. This is more of a damage over time build. Scourge Arrow is like a charged up arrow. You charge it up and then release. And it leaves behind like these spore pods that then explode and fire more arrows. Extremely strange skill. Don't know much about it. Artillery Ballista. It's like you place a ballista down that attacks for you. Barrage is like you rapid fire, blast rain, fire up in the air, fire arrows rain down. Blink arrow is only movement. I'm wearing the Dota shirt again. Burning arrow, self-explanatory. Elemental hit, that's too complicated. Explosive arrow is also an interesting one. This one does no damage when hitting the enemy, but it instead implants a bomb in the enemy, and then after a while this bomb explodes, dealing big damage. Frenzy is one of the ways you can get frenzy charges, as I've just explained with the Raider. I wish someone called me baby. SKR, you are such a baby. There you go. Ice Shot, very self-explanatory. It's an arrow that is cold infused and then explodes and leaves behind ice. Lightning Arrow is you fire this arrow and you shock all enemies around your target, right? That's also good. Caustic Arrow is a little bit like Toxic Rain. You fire an arrow that leaves behind poison shit. Puncture causes bleeding. Rain of Arrows just rains down arrows. Another Ballista. Galvanic Arrow is like a shotgun. Your arrows become extremely slow, close range. They have very low range, but you have a shotgun effect very close to you. You fire the arrows with such force that you get a poof. So you very close to you, you almost deal double damage with this thing. Another Ballista. Split Arrow is just basically, instead of firing one arrow, you fire 6 or 7, in this shape, in a cone shape. And my personal favorite, which I'm also going to try and build around, Tornado Shot. It fires one piercing arrow, right? So, yeah. Be mindful of the wording. Fires a piercing arrow that travels until it reaches the targeted location. Meaning, this arrow always pierces. So, getting the stat, your arrows pierce +1 times has no effect here, because it always pierces. So yeah, important, right? You fire one piercing arrow, and then when it reaches its destination, it explodes into secondary, smaller projectiles. Very simple skill. Very simple. And that's what I love about it. It's very simple. Now, of course, it's also not the most fancy skill. It might not do the most damage, but okay. And now, before we go into the skill tree, we need to choose our skill, our active skill. That is great. And sometimes I have a certain unique item in mind. So Path of Exile has more than 1,000 unique items, and almost all of them, which is absurd to say, have some place in the game. Now, many of them are designed for leveling characters, right? They're not special in a way. They're just designed to help characters level in the early game. But some change the game fundamentally, right? The uniques, as I alluded to before, right? There's this one unique that breaks the game, right? That allows you to hack, and this is something that only unique items can give you. They have stats that the normal items in the game just can never get. And so I will choose a bow here. So let's see the unique bows. And let's see if there's one that I am very interested in. So they reworked one of the bows. And I think they reworked... Yeah, let's just choose a very simple... Here, this bow here. This is a very simple, not like absurdly special, but just a all around solid bow. It has increased damage, right? That's what you need that. It has increased attack speed, always good. Plus 90 maximum mana, always welcome. And it has hits can't be evaded. Oh, I was just talking about accuracy, and that if your accuracy is very low, you will oftentimes not hit the enemy and your attack will have no effect at all. Well, hits can't be evaded is kind of great because now you don't need to put anything into accuracy. No matter what your accuracy is, your hits can never be evaded and they will always hit. Great. And it has far shot, which, as we have seen before, right here, far shot is the farther away an enemy is, the more damage he takes. Okay. So far, so good. 1 second though. Let me again take a look at the skills. Am I really wanting to play Tornado Shot or maybe Rain of Arrows? Or, like, for example, I've never played a Rain of Arrows character. Nah, let's just keep it a Tornado Shot. Okay. Now that we have chosen our weapon, which is for attack builds, that's one of the most important parts of the build, and our main skill, we can then slowly decide where to go. Now, before you place anything here, it's good to get a lay of the land, so to speak, right? Okay. For example, one of the things that you might find interesting to know is where are nodes on this passive skill tree that affect bows. And as it turns out, if you put in here search for bows, yeah, okay, here, there's bow nodes here, so I'm already in a good area. What else can I look for? Projectile. Yeah, there, big node, big cluster here, projectiles. This, so it's quite close. Yeah, what else do we have? Projectiles here, okay. But the most important thing is maximum life. Oh, no. Where's life? Now, since this is the most important thing in the game, you see that it's completely spread out over the entire passive skill tree, meaning that every character needs to have access to increased maximum life because it's just so fundamental. What? Throw what back? I don't understand. Alright. Anyway. So. Okay. Meaning we have to somehow path around here so we get a lot of maximum life. Now, how much life does a character need? Is kind of a weird question in this game because you will understand that no amount of life your character can get is ever enough. Like, this game is so fucking brutal and merciless. It doesn't matter how much life you get. You are like, only in the absolutely rarest circumstances are you ever like safe by just standing there and letting enemies hit you. It doesn't matter how much life or shit you have. Once you get to the later parts of the game, just standing there and letting enemies hit you will make you go dead. But having more life gives you more time to react, so to say. Right? It's basically the difference between getting one hit and not getting one hit. Now, that's of course hyperbolizing. Of course, it's not that extreme, but in some way it is. I usually, and that is the reason why I usually take everything that has somehow life on my way possible. So here we take the nodes that have increased maximum life. Then here, increased attack speed. The 15% increased global accuracy doesn't help us much, but you know, sometimes you need to take passives that don't give you much. What else do we have here? 8% increased life. Oh, that's good. Increased movement speed is also rather useful. Now, I could then, right, I want to go here. I could path through here, but then I see like attack skills deal more damage while holding a shield. Well, my character is wielding a bow, so there's no place for a shield. So these nodes here would be completely wasted, which means I wouldn't want to go here. Same here, these are dual wielding, right? Wielding weapons in both hands, also completely wasted with me. But this one, projectile, very good. Then here, oh, it gives me life and it affects stuff with bows. Very nice. Increased attack speed and accuracy, increased damage, critical strike chance with bows. Yeah, let's go here. Right. Attack speed, movement speed, critical strike chance, very solid node. Chance to block, very useless node for me. So we go here. Now, oh, okay, no. Now we reach one of the first decisions in a passive skill tree. So I want to reach these, right? And I could go this way, and now reach this, or I could go this way. Which one is better? Well, I have now the decision between plus 10 to dexterity and 4% attack speed. In general, these nodes here, the plus 10 to dexterity, are the lowest value nodes, because 10 dexterity really is almost useless. So in this case, I would probably just choose the 4% attack speed. Right? Even though it somehow looks weird, but it's a good decision. Right? So I pick up this. And now here is the bow cluster, right? This has increases for bow users. And the shortest path is just going here, because this is 2 points. However, if I later decide that maybe, going along this way is better, then suddenly, if I wanted to pick up this anyway, then it might be better to go this way, right? Plan your build out in another direction and go and choose it to be like this. Or if I want to use frenzy charges, I'm going to do it like this. It always depends on what your character is good at, right? Do frenzy charges really help me? Because every passive is like, yeah, no passive is ever bad for you. But it's always a question about how good is this for me? Is it worth it to go this way, right? And that's why here I'm probably just going to go this way. Yep. Now the passive skill tree has many icons who always have the same, like this person with the red heart thing is always maximum life. This green thing with the circles is always accuracy, so you always kind of know at a glance what you're looking at. Here, these two weapons are always dual wielding, so I don't care. And also in the middle of some of the clusters, you have like a symbol that kind of shows you what this is about, right? So, there's a bow here. That might be interesting. Bow here. Okay, so here, while I'm not going to look into too much what these nodes actually do, they just increase my damage, and that is good. Increased critical strike chance, also very useful. Increased damage and attack speed. Arrow speed. These are all useful stats. Here, critical strike multiplier, also a very useful stat. And now we're going to a point where I'm actually able to maybe allocate a first keystone. Ooh, but is this really useful? As I explained before, like keystones fundamentally change the game. And this keystone here does the following. It gives you 30% chance to dodge attacks, meaning 30% of the attacks, 30% of all attacks that enemies throw at you, you will dodge them, and they will deal 0 damage. Wow! Incredible defensive benefit. But you have 50% less armor, and 30% less energy shield, and 30% less chance to block an attack. So that might be a very big downside. But now your big brain comes in. Does my character even have armor? Because if I'm building a character that's based around dodging and evading, I might not even have any armor. So 50% less armor, 50% less of 0 is still 0. Same goes with energy shield. Energy shield is basically additional. It's like a shield on your life that protects your life first. If my character if I don't intend to have any energy shield, then 30% less energy shield is not a downside at all. And also the blocking, right? If I don't intend on blocking, then it's actually not a downside. And then if all of these things, if you've checked all of these boxes in your head, you can then say, oh yeah, acrobatics, very good keystone. It only gives, I can ignore all the downsides and only have upside from it. Then it's a good keystone. And then back here, more dodge chance. And back here you have another keystone that gives you 30% chance to dodge spells. Right? This one here was only for attacks, so 30% of all attacks towards you are dodged. Now 30% of all attacks and spells are dodged. Ooh. Good. So what else? Here, projectiles. Projectiles pierce. For each enemy they pierce. I mean, this is quite good because since tornado shot always pierces, for every enemy it goes through, it will deal more damage. That's kind of good. But here, projectiles pierce 2 additional targets. Maybe not so useful. So, increased projectile damage. Increased projectile damage, 50% increased projectile fork angle. Oh, okay. Projectiles have 10% chance for an additional projectile when forking. Oh ho ho, reduced fork angle. Ah, because you see, when you hit an enemy and your arrow forks, then usually it's like they fork in a fixed angle. But with these passives, you can somehow change the angle that they do that in. Oh, it's quite cool. But a projectile that pierces cannot fork. Meaning, picking up these fork passives is kind of useless for me because they will never fork because they always pierce. So, not useful. And down here, it goes into the direction of chaining. So, projectiles deal more damage for each time they have chained. But since I always pierce, and projectiles that pierce cannot fork, they can also not chain, is also kind of lost. So these 3 passives here, not that efficient. Maybe not going to use them. What else? Down here, there's another bow cluster. Oh, critical strike chance with bows. Yes, very good. Arrow dancing. Less chance to evade melee attacks. It's kind of always dangerous, right? So I'm not a big fan of this node. Alright, so I've gotten the juiciest parts here in the vicinity. Now, we still have quite a few passive nodes to distribute, and we can branch off a little bit. And here, you kind of start to get your build in a certain direction. I know from my experience that going up here, There's a lot more critical strike rating up here. What is folk? No, it's called folk. 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 So there's a lot of critical strike here. Attack speed. And these are there. Now going in this direction, you have a lot more life. Right? Maybe more defensive bonuses. These life nodes here are very thick. Also, if we go and type in bow, up here going in the upwards direction, there are very few bow nodes left. They're more distributed in this area. Right, for example, what is this? Yeah, this node here, Hunter's Gambit, is mainly, while it's designed for bows, it's mainly designed for bow skills that deal damage over time. As, for example, Toxic Rain or Caustic Arrow. They do very little hit damage, and instead they just spread their Scheissdreck everywhere and deal damage over time. So this node also would not be very, very efficient or good for me. So yeah, maybe not go this direction. So what else do we have here? Increased damage with bows, accuracy. Oh, what is this? This is new. Increased damage, increased attack speed, increased accuracy. Overwhelm, 10% physical damage reduction. What? Physical damage reduction is lower against overwhelming hits, but cannot go negative. Oh, that's basically like you ignore a certain part of the enemy's physical damage reduction. Oh, looks pretty good. Oh, so, right, I branch off from here. Now there's maximum life, which I'm of course going to take, and now I'm going to take this. But again, we are at a decision point, right? I did choose these two to get there, but I could also choose these two and refund this. Now, which one is better? Well, both cost me 2 points. But if I maybe decide to take like nodes in this area or nodes in this area, then it of course becomes a very clear decision which way to go, right? If I want these things, then of course I wouldn't go up here and down here again, because that was just waste points. No, I have not looked into anything about Mortal Kombat's Aftermath. I have zero idea what it's even about. I don't even know what's like what that expansion contains. Is it just new characters or what? Anyway, so here we have also, this is I think projectile based, right? Yeah, increased projectile damage, reduced projectile speed. Aha, interesting. Projectiles deal 20% increased damage with hits to target at the start of their movement. Oh, so this is like a little bit of the opposite of Far Shot. Far Shot, they deal more damage as they travel, and this is they deal more damage the closer you are to them. Aha. What is this? Long Shot. Projectiles gain damage as they travel far. Oh, okay, so this just increases the effect of Long Shot. Is the entire stream going to be what build you're going to do? Maybe not the entire stream, but most of it. Yeah. It adds 4 hours to the story. Okay. But the story of Mortal Kombat is not its strong point. Let's say that. SKR, you get one of these passive skill points every level. So every level you get 1 point, and then at certain events during the story you get additional points, which is why you can have more than 100, since the maximum level is 100, and but you can go above 100 because during the main story you get like 23 additional passive points. Adit, I have no idea. Maybe you write it in Chinese. Anyway, so here projectiles. Yeah, far shot is I think very useful. What is this? Wind Dancer. Less damage taken if you haven't been hit. 40% less evasion if you haven't been hit. More evasion rating if you've been hit. Okay, so if I've been hit, so if I haven't been hit, then I have less chance to evade, but I also take less damage from a hit that hits me then. But then this switches around, and once I'm hit, I have for a few seconds increased, so more evasion, so I'm more likely. Man, this is such a Path of Exile node, where it's very hard to evaluate if this is even good or not. I would say, since my character is mainly based around like dodging and evading, this is a good node. So I'm just going to take it, but not 100% sure on that. Wait, what? 雪花飘飘被小小 I have no idea. Oh no. Did I do something wrong? Borek has somehow found something. Oh no. Oh no, what happened? Oh, Chinese meme songs. Ha! We're doing something really important here. Okay. 哎呀，真麻烦哎。Okay. So, now we've chosen these. And I personally prefer to go more into the direction of life. Right. This one is also a very useful node. Gives mana leech, so your attacks leech a portion of their damage back to you as life and mana. And honestly, in the end game, when your character does enough damage, this 0.4% leached as mana is enough to sustain your mana. So, very nice. How do you pronounce? Actually, I don't know. 工什么工厂党 oder so. Yeah. Okay, bow damage. Yeah. Why not? Right. Bow attacks have 15% chance to cause bleeding. Man, that's not so interesting. Then go here, pick up the life. Now these things here, these are called jewel nodes. They're basically, you can find items in the game that are called jewels, and you can socket them in here and they give you additional bonuses. These are also very useful. Projectile damage. So this is like more projectile stuff. And also this gives strength. Good. Ignore movement penalties from armor. Attack speed, very nice. Maximum life. Very good. Boba boy. That's an interesting compliment. But just a funny little story. When I recently like met another girl in physics, and I showed her, like, I sent her the link of Anton and my podcast, and the first thing she replied was like, "Oh, Anton and you have such great teeth." And I was like, okay, that's thank you, I guess." I mean, it's better than saying you're, oh ho, Anton and you have really bad teeth. So I guess that's cool, but yeah, it's not a compliment you hear every day. But I'm very happy nonetheless. Yeah. All right. This is probably just too far away, right? 2 additional points just to get there might not be worth it. Mm-hmm. I wish. Sorry, Sabrina. Okay, what else can I choose here? I could go all the way up here towards this cluster that just gives absurd amounts of life. That could be useful. Or I could just branch on top here and gain the more offensive nodes, right? That deal a lot of critical strike, that have a lot of critical strike chance. Oh, yeah, just since I've been repeatedly seeing it in the chat. Guys, welcome to the Discord. Everyone say a huge thank you to Tom. He did that all by himself in like it's apparently the most excruciating work ever, and he did that all just for me and us and you, and it's everyone, like, send him a kiss, like mwah, but no homo kiss, right? Just a respect kiss, a Bruderkuss. And so the fact that you can chill on the Discord is all thanks to Tom. Anyway, I hope you. I mean, I'm very glad that you guys are there. I hope you enjoy your time there. However, I don't know if I said this in a stream before, but I really hope that you're not disappointed if I'm not online every day. Like, I'm personally a real big boomer that doesn't understand this entire stuff too good, too well. So it might be a little bit too much for me. But yeah, I'll try to every now and then show my face in the Discord. Not literally, but like figuratively, right? Be around and say hello and do a little bit of quatching, and maybe if you guys wanna play some games, do some PvP or something, play some League. We shall see. So yeah, hope you have a great time in Discord. Welcome. Okay, so let's instead go further. Now another thing that I'm thinking about is what damage type I want to do. So in general, tornado shot is just physical damage, or it deals 109% base attack damage. What does it mean? It takes the damage your weapon does and multiplies it by 109%, and that's the damage it will do. Since my bow only deals physical damage, tornado shot will also only deal physical damage. But oftentimes using some or converting some of your damage to elemental is quite useful. But I just realized that this node here, the overwhelm thing, physical damage reduction is lower against would be less useful, right? I would lose effectiveness on this node if I convert part of my physical damage to elemental damage. So maybe I'm just going to keep it all physical. Let's get physical. Aritra, no. The entire passive skill tree here has more than 1,000 nodes, and every character just has like, at the maximum, 110, 120 points to give. So, no chance to choose everything. Yeah, I think a subreddit would be overkill. I mean, I'm mostly just using Anton's subreddit, and I think that's okay. Am I a ball slapper? Slappers. Still open to a name change? Well, I mean, bye, Papi Maru. I personally like the name of the Discord, right? It's, what's it called? Team Sausage or Team Wurst or something? I think that was one of the funniest moments of one of the earlier streams when someone pointed out that the German language is just apparently entirely based around sausages. Oh, it's the server name. Okay, yeah. Team Wurst would be better. I don't know. I prefer Team Sausage. Although maybe Team Sausage might be interpreted as misogynistic. So maybe Team Wurst is, no one dares to say anything about non-English words, right? So, huh. Just make a normal name. Why can't you just be normal? Ah! Honestly, I'm Team Wurst. Yeah. Maybe Team Wurst is also quite cool. Sausage might be just too edgy. Team Wurst salad? Because we are so diverse that it's a salad? Oh! Okay, Team Wurst salad. Oh, Team Wurst salad. And it's also, it's like such a German word. Wurstsalat. Yeah. Let's like Tom. Let's not decide anything final today. Let's just contemplate on a few name ideas. Right. I think Team Wurstsalat has its advantages, although it's kind of unwieldy to pronounce. Get a few more life nodes. Damage over time, no. 100 weapons, no. Physical damage, critical strike, yeah. Okay. More life, good. Critical strike and damage, good. Assassination, critical strike, good. Damage, mana regeneration, and intelligence, more. Here, this life cluster is also very nice. And then jewel socket, yeah. I'm probably going to have to cut a few nodes here to put into this. I'm going to explain that at a later point. Okay. Let's just first leave the passive skill tree at this. Now we choose the Ascendancy, and since I am really simple, I'm just going to choose Deadeye. Also, this tool, the reason why this tool is so good is because you can see down below, like allocating this node will give you, and then you will directly see it calculates your theoretical DPS, right? It calculates how much the node you're going to pick up is going to influence your DPS. So you can always somehow like see if this node is good or bad or a total waste of scheiße or something. Bobo Boy, Anton isn't wrong in that regard. Like, his eyes are. He's basically what's a I was thinking about maybe some superhero has like incredible eyesight, because Anton's eyes are god tier. Like he can spot. He's like a hawk. He can spot a rabbit running around a field from a mile away. And my eyes from the very early on have already started to deteriorate, and it didn't help that I was a complete nerd. So, it's like a vicious cycle. Your eyes are bad. You need glasses, but your hobby is also something that makes your eyes worse. So it gets bad, worse and worse and worse. And that is why my eyes are actually complete shit. No, it's not that hard, but they were bad enough for me to be freed from military service in Germany. That's actually quite funny. Many years back, in the year 2000, or in the early, like before 2010, I think, German boys needed to do military service, all of them, and unless you, so before you do that, so they invited you to do like they invited you to a thorough medical examination. In German, it's called the Musterung. So, and there they examine everything about you, like check you from head to toe, and then decide if you are fit or unfit to serve in the military. Now, in general, if you're not a complete misshapen cripple like I was, you will be fit to serve. And that's bad because many German boys didn't want to do that, right? They didn't want to spend at least I think it was at least 9 months in the military, because if there's one thing Germans were back at the time, German kids, it was pacifist. That was like the thing to be. Like everyone hates war, and military is bad, and guns are bad, and that's like the German teen mentality back at the time. So no one wanted to do that. Now, if you were deemed fit, you could still deny it. Just say, I'm not going to do it. Nope. And that was okay. But you then had to do something else. And that was called Zivildienst, which basically it translates to civil service, right? So for 1 year, you did something in a public, for example, you worked in a Altenheim, right? In a oh god damn it, where old people live, right? Or work in a hospital, or you work in like a technisches Hilfswerk, or these are people that help like firefighters, and it's like public service basically, right? And you did that for a year. So that was also possible, but it's also bad. I mean, you've just finished high school, you're all ready to do shit, and then 1 year you have to do something completely unplanned and something you don't like. Which is why the best thing that could happen to you is to be deemed unfit. Because then there would not be any need for you to deny it, which then also would make you free to choose whatever you want to do. And apparently my eyes were so bad that they decided to not even... It's like when they sent me the letter and they said, hello, Andy, you are invited to the Musterung, right? But to streamline this entire process, if you have any medical conditions, please send us your paperwork and we will get this into the system. Then I sent them all the paperwork of the stuff that I have, among which is also my horrible eyesight. And then a few weeks later came a letter from the military that said, okay, you are not what we are looking for. Have a nice life. Goodbye. They didn't even invite me for the like. They didn't even want me to go to the thorough exam. It was it was basically just okay. This guy is already his life is shit enough as it is. He's completely unfit for anything that we can use him for. Let's just not waste resources on him, and that's great. Yeah, I was then I was free. Yeah. Of course, this is like it's like one of the old stories because nowadays this is no longer the case. Germany no longer has mandatory military service. It's now completely based on voluntary enlisting. Right? You join the military if you are interested in doing so. Which is why Anton that's a rule that Anton profited very much from. He was immediately able after high school to choose what he wanted to do and wasn't forced into this entire military thing because he certainly would have been deemed fit 100%, right? But since Anton so when Anton graduated, this was no longer the case. He got like he was that was no thing for him. So yeah. So let's choose this. Yeah, SKR, that sucks too. My mother has that to a certain extent. She's always sitting around with sunglasses, and everyone just thinks she's too cool. She's like too gangster to remove the sunglasses. Yeah, Sabrina, oh, unfit. Oof. It's quite funny. The place I'm working at now, right? I'm now working as a software guy. One of my colleagues, we were talking about like, oh yeah, how old are you? And he said, yeah, he was also among the people that needed to do like the mandatory military service. And then so and how was it? And he said, no, they didn't want me. I was too fat. And it was I was taken aback by his brutal honesty in admitting that he's quite uh thick, and but it never came up in a like in a conversation. But he just suddenly went like, yeah, they didn't want me. I'm too fat. So yeah. All right, let's see what else do we do here. Chain, no. Tailwind, yeah, very cool. Area of effects, not that useful. No, this is not that useful. Well, I mean, I I am I am of the firm belief, or no, I was of the firm belief that every person has a certain amount of skill points that they can distribute, meaning like every person is somehow has the same value, but they just have distributed their skill points differently. And this is why some people are like super fit but very dumb, and some are their bodies are complete shambles, is in shambles, but they're very smart. And some have their passive skill have their skills like distributed so horribly that nothing even comes out of it. But I think everyone starts with the same starting hand, so to say. Now, of course, that is a very unscientific and very stupid way of seeing things. It's a dangerous oversimplification, but I just think it's a funny idea to entertain every now and then. Of course, this is not the case, right? It's just these two. Projectiles pierce additional targets. Well, this is not very useful. I still get the projectiles have 100% increased critical strike chance against targets they pierce. Okay. So that's that. Now let's set my level to 85. This is usually the level I intend on. on reaching. Yeah. What? Horse guy. 2 years. And does everyone have to do that? It's like every male has to spend 2 years in military after high school. Oi, 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 oi. It's every boy's nightmare. I can imagine. I mean, 2 years is really long. Oof. Wrinkle brain. Why did Anton have so much hair? Anton didn't have much hair. He just didn't go to the hairdresser for like 2 years. It was basically just laziness. At some point my hair was like this long too, right? I literally from behind I looked like a girl with my what's the opposite of Chad physique? Like with my not very Chad, not very alpha looking physique, from behind you would have certainly thought this is a girl. But yeah, that's also like my hair grew up until here, which was also only reason for that was not because I liked it or because I thought, yeah, I want to have long hair, but because I was just so lazy and I thought spending 40 euros on a hairdresser is a fucking waste of money. And that's why I just let them grow. Right? No, Anton's good, man. Anton's good. Just a little overworked, but he'll be back to posting good content very soon. Yeah, beta physique. All right, so let's continue on with the build. All right, now that we've taken the passive nodes, chosen our Ascendancy, chosen our most important item, which is the weapon, and the main skill, it's time for the support gems. Now, the highest you can have in Path of Exile is 6 links, right? You can have your main skill linked with 6 other... Oh no, you can have your main skill linked with 5 other supports, which totals to 6 links. But a 6 link is omega rare. Like, I would say 90% of all players in Path of Exile never see a 6 link in their life. Because getting one yourself is like absurdly hard or absurdly low probability, and buying one is therefore a lot cheaper. But yeah, so if you intend on getting one, buying is most of the time the best choice, but they are also very expensive, right? Getting like if I want this unique item and I want to buy this 6 linked, it's very expensive. So yeah, but still, I will still choose 6 links, and I will order them in the. So I will choose the 6 links and then decide on which of them I use. Like for example, 4 is something that everyone will have access to. 4 links are very easy to find, very simple to get. 4 is like the baseline. 5 is already pretty rare, but usually you will get there. 5 is easily, no, it's not easily, but it's reasonably easy to obtain. And then 6 link is of course like the absolute end game goal. Okay, now let's see. So these are all ordered by damage. You can see a support gem like this does like huge damage, but these awakened skill gems, they're among the most rare items in the game, so you're better off just not choosing them. Then here I can have like added chaos, added lightning, added cold damage. They give me a lot of damage, but they are also not giving me physical damage, and I really want physical damage. So one thing that is also important is multiple here. Greater multiple projectiles, because the problem with many bow skills is that they just fire one arrow, and when your entire screen is full of enemies, one arrow oftentimes is not enough, right? So then you have a support gem like greater multiple projectiles. While your skill will deal less damage, right? Supported skills deal less damage. They fire 4 additional projectiles. So instead of firing like phew, you fire like 4 additional, so 5 projectiles, and then they each explode. Great skill. Okay, before we continue, let's do Riedel. Riedel. Okay, one second. So here, I can see this. Okay, before we continue, let's do the riddle. So imagine you have like a Vorrat repository of 6-sided cubes, which is kind of redundant because every cube has 6 sides. But yeah, imagine like dice, yeah? And they're all white. All of the sides are white and look the same, right? So everything is very simple. Just basic white cubes. And you have how many ever you want of them. Now, you have 6 different colors at your disposal. What colors those are is not important. You can have any color you want, but these 6 colors are all different. And now you go on painting these cubes. And to paint a cube correctly, every side of this cube needs to have a different color. And since you have only 6 colors, to paint a cube correctly, you'd have to put each of your colors onto one side of the cube. Because no 2 sides are allowed to have the same color, right? Each side of the cube needs to be a different color, and you only have 6 colors to choose from, meaning so you need to distribute these 6 colors onto the sides of every cube. Now the question is, how many different cubes can you create from this, right? So I'm just going to give you an example, right? Let's do paint. A small little example. Yeah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. So imagine what the fuck. Okay, you have 2 cubes here. Whoops. Beautiful. And you want to paint them in different colors, right? So let's first say one of your 6 colors is red. So you paint this one red. And this side red. Okay. Next color you choose is green. And paint this side green. And this side green. And the other one is blue. Paint this side blue. And this side blue. Okay, now the question is, are these 2 the same? Are these 2 colored differently, or are these 2 colored the same? And the answer here is that these 2 are colored the same, because you can rotate, right? You can rotate this one here. Let's see if I can somehow do that. If you rotate this one, of course, since my paint skills are so horrible, it's of course not going to show. But these 2 are the same, right? This is not a unique color combination if you do it like this, because by rotating one cube, you could get the cube to be the same as the other one. So that's not a correct way to do it. However, if I somehow did, 1 second, now painted, oops, here, painted this area blue, and this area green, now there's no way for me to rotate this in any way to achieve, to get to this color scheme, right? There's no way for me to rotate this. I can try every direction I want. This cube will never be the same as this cube. So these are two different, unique colorings, right? And the question of this riddle is, how many different unique color schemes are there? Okay. Oh, Scream! What's up? Hi! My day is going pretty chill. Lots of work at work, but other than that, very hyped for the Path of Exile League that's coming out Friday. No, my lewd furry pictures are off limits. Boba boy. Naughty, naughty. Alright, so let's continue on with the with the support gems. So I'm definitely going to choose this one. And these are ordered by damage, by the way. Which is weird that their brutality might be good. More physical damage, yeah. Vicious projectile. He attacks slower but harder. Impale, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Impale is actually good. Let's choose this one. So these 4 are the simple ones that I can easily count on to get. Ooh, Barrage gives a lot of damage. But this makes my arrows no longer fly like in this direction. It makes them fly in the same direction, all one after another, like in sequence. I'm basically turning from a archer that fires like bows in a cone. I'm turning into machine gun Call of Duty. Might be good, but Adit Vikram, I was just waiting on someone in the chat to use this word. Yes, they're called permutations. Achilles, you savage beast. Increased critical strike, yeah, that's also useful. Pierce, no, I always pierce, right? Yeah. Maybe maim. Supported skills deal more physical damage, have chance to maim. Yeah, okay. Good. And now the last part of a build to complete it basically would be to choose the unique items that fit into a build. Usually it's a very bad idea to choose only unique items, because unique items are mostly focused on offense and have very little defensive properties. Meaning every unique item you put into your build is it's a trade-off, right? You could have a rare item, just a normal rare item in that slot instead, and rare items you pick up are usually focused on defensive stats. Meaning you have to do like a trade-off, right? What defensive normal items are you going to replace with offensive unique items? Of course, this is not always the case. There are many unique items that are like absurdly defensive, but then come at a hefty offensive cost. This is Path of Exile. Everything is possible, right? But usually, it's the way with uniques being offensive and normal rare items being defensive. Do I? Bova boy, interesting. Yeah, exactly. If I one day decide to limit Discord participation to being a patron, you will all be the elite that has been there all the time and didn't have to pay for it. Okay. Anyway, I think this is as far as my build creation is going to go today. I think I'm going to play a little bit more Magic Arena, just at the side, like nothing groundbreaking. I'm not intending on playing anything huge right now. Starting something new because that would kind of not make any sense. Also, another thing, just a little disclaimer. When the league comes out, I'm going to play a lot of Path of Exile. Now, sometimes I might just be playing for myself, right? I'm not going to hold back on playing the game because I think, but I don't feel like streaming, but I feel like playing, and I'm not going to not play the game just because I don't feel like streaming. Meaning, just as a small warning, if at the end of one stream my character is level 10 or something, or 50, and at the start of the next stream the character is level 65, that's just what it is, right? I just felt like playing, and sometimes it's just not feasible for me to stream, or I just enjoy the non-committal of not streaming, right? I just enjoy like playing on and off. Sometimes I just play the game, and then 5 minutes in I decide to take a huge shit and then come back and not wear any pants or whatever. Right? No, it's not that extreme, but you get the idea. Boba boy, what kind of question is that? What's your favorite Mongolian invasion during the reign of Genghis Khan? Oh my god. Nice. Let me think. Let me look into my huge cache of knowledge on the Mongolian invasions. Yikes. No, I'm wearing pants. I'm wearing pants. Here, you see? Very comfortable jogging pants. I don't know if that's what they're called in English, but Jogginghose, arbeitslos und Jogginghose. That is a very non-typical German saying, right? It means out of work and with this type of pants. Oh man, that delivery sucked. Sweatpants. Okay. Joggers. All right. Man. Whoop. Show me your controls. Ooh, yeah, nice. Go away. Trainerhose. Oh no, that was so dumb. Oh no, Andy, what the fuck? How are you so stupid? Since I played this land wrong, and now I don't have any blue mana to play this spell, so... Oh dear. Yeah, this is a quick one. Yeah, you see, sometimes a game of Magic can be over in 4 turns. Okay. Woof. Scream, I wouldn't say afraid. It's just not interested in it. Right there. She likes to be not famous just like that. So casualties of war while being very good. I don't think I have time to play this. Crisis. Yeah, Liliana also. That might be a little too ambitious. Let's run this back. Dude, I will get a better webcam, man. Oh, Tom, you just reminded me of something very important. Guys, here, 27 viewers. Please, is there any one of you with sufficient Photoshop skills to somehow make a Path of Exile related Photoshop of me that I can use for the thumbnail? That would be so awesome of you guys, because my Photoshop absolutely sucks. And if any one of you would be interested or would have the skill or the patience or whatever to create a Photoshop of me with a Path of Exile related image, that would be an absolute honor, and I would love to use that as a thumbnail. Yeah, man. Boomer Andy is on the job again. Maybe I should have milled myself. Yeah, Sabrina, your paint creations are also very cool. However, the problem is that I want something where you can clearly see it's photoshopped, but it's also, that's kind of what's funny about it. It's hard to explain. Achilles, I think that is very politically incorrect to do. But I did. For the most part, like, white is my favorite color in Magic. I'm not sure if I'm even allowed to say that, but that's just what it is. And I love playing mono white. But my favorite color combination is black and white. So black-white, I think this is the best color combination, and they complement each other very well. Yeah. Yes, Woody, welcome back. Welcome back. We need you. Spoody, you are needed. Get that out of the way. All right. We need someone with your level of Photoshop skills to... oh, he drew... Okay, 99% sure he drew an Embercleave. That little cunt. You see? Watch him play his Embercleave. Oh, no, okay, it's a Rimrock. Then. No problemo. We need someone with your Photoshop skills to somehow make a thumbnail for me for the Path of Exile stream in the future. Just as, I don't know if it was you, but someone did the Dark Souls thumbnail that I kept using. That was also very cool, and I intend on using like another photoshopped image of me with a Path of Exile related image for the Path of Exile stream. Yeah. You did the Dark Souls one, right? Yeah. Spoody is the man. Can fans interact in a PoE game? Somewhat. Ooh. Get the fuck out of here. Like, I personally... So, you cannot go where my character is. Just like that. But, you can whisper, like for example, you can chat or something, but usually when I'm in the game, I would rather interact with you via the stream chat and not to chat messages. So please, no sending of chat messages in the game, right? Of course, I cannot prohibit it, but okay, so next turn he will play this. This is very bad because this has protection from blue, meaning I cannot block it. But if I play Nissa, she's still going to die because I cannot block, right? So then let's just do this. Let's just draw a lot more cards. Okay. Oh, Extinction Event. That's nice. That's very nice. With this, Extinction Event, I can easily get that stuff out of the way. Okay. Oh no, he didn't have any haste creature, right? So yeah, that's good. Buff. And now cast Nissa. Oh no. Wait. 2, 4. Yeah. Cast Nissa. And cast Extinction Event. Kill everything that is even. So these two. Now activate Nissa to attack. Yeah. Yeah, Aritra, I've noticed. You're right. That's a very awesome thing, I feel. I loves it. I know. I know. I indeed have the perfect wife. What's an... Oh! Please, explain it like I'm 5 and explain it like I'm a Omega Boomer. What's this entire Uwu thing? Isn't this Uwu just a stylization of this super kawaii way of drawing faces? That's what I thought, at least. Nice. Don't ask. Alright, then I'm not going to ask. Okay. This is Magic Arena. I think Magic Online is a scam and everyone who plays it is a beta cook. Cuck. Alright. It's weep kawaii shite. Alright. Okay, Aritra, thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye. Okay, he plays this. Right, so he is going to attack here. I think in that case I'm going to block here and destroy the questing beast. Oh yes, solve it. After this game I'm going to solve the riddle. Sack. Nice. Get another blue mana. Yep, get the blue. Now I think the best course of action here is just to take apart his hand. Oh yeah, that was a good one. And in the next turn I can use the Ether Gust to put this back onto... Yeah, in fact, why not do that right now? He's probably just going to put it... Oh, above, okay. So that... Oh no, so he puts it under, yeah. Yes, SKR, I am planning a marathon stream, so when the league is released, I'm going to play that shit so fucking hard. So at least, let's say, at least until... No, midnight is too... So let's say at least 5 to 6 hours. And then in the following days, yeah, also a lot of game. Oh, what an idiot! This creature should never attack a planeswalker. It should always attack face. This gets him an oops.
Do not underestimate my fortitude.
Let's first draw. So this needs blue. Here. Suck. Suck. Nice. Okay. Yay! I won! Boba Boy? Is that the start to a creepypasta or something? Yeah. But why did you move away? Are you gay? She hugged you. That's great. Just accept advances from women. That's everyone keeps memeing about how they get rejected all the time and it's horrible. Yeah, whenever a woman advances on you, that's a great thing. It's a compliment, right? Don't be a virgin and say like, no, I need to protect my virginity. Be gone, thought. Masters of the Universe. Yeah, that's kind of a... I don't know. It's I get it. It makes sense because, you know, I have a master's degree and in physics, so every physics master is kind of master of the universe, blah blah blah. But the problem is it's kind of too generic, I feel. Master of the universe. You had to stop contact. No, Boba Boy, that's not good. Don't decide from the looks. She might be very loving and cute and warm in the heart, right? Just because she looks like a horse, don't kick her. Not good. Don't do it. Ah, I forgot the riddle. Can you send me the... Have you already sent me the answer? No, because I don't know the answer. Ja. Okay. Egal. Yes, just send me the answers to Sabrina, not who won. Send me the answers. Okay, then it's good. Then we good. No. You didn't fail. We are experiencing technical difficulties because you see, whenever I play Magic Arena, it's always like, okay, just this one game, and the moment I finish, I start a new game. Oof. Let's take a look. Oh. Aha. Banishing Light. Yeah, that's not that important. Seraph of the Scales. Oi. These are some sexy cards. I would say here. This is worse. Let's get this away. Okay. Alright, Scream. Bye-bye. Thank you for stopping by. Your instincts told you her genetics were desirable. Dude, what kind of monster are you? I'm not so funny. Andy, if I meet you, I will give you all my money, which is like €2. Nice. Then I will have the big money. I have money. Said, what's his name? Knockout zerfetzender Knochenzerbrecher wie Conor McGregor. That's some peak German rap here. Ich bin Knockout zerfetzender Knochenzerbrecher wie Conor McGregor. Okay, let's hope he does not have a counterspell. That would suck. If he had a counterspell, that would suck indeed. However, I can use this. And if he then decides to counter, place this here. If I do nothing, is there anything? Huh. Could he gain an advantage? Yeah, he could scry. Yeah, let's just risk it, right? If he counters it, then he counters it. Okay, no, he doesn't. Good.
The land shall conquer you.
Now, in his next turn, he will cast Banishing Light to destroy Nissa. And that's okay, I think.
The land will not forsake you.
The reason that is okay, because I still get to keep this. Let's hope he doesn't have a counterspell for that one. A Minecraft co-op stream. In your dreams. Alright, now I could cast this again. I'm just gonna keep the mana open. Yeah. In a room very far away, there's a fully erect Xander. Right. Let's attack first. Suck. 2, 4, 6. Let's do 7. Why not? He counters it, but I still get to draw the cards. Good. Okay, now I see why I should have maybe only done 6. X equals 6. Before I solve the riddle, let me first take a look at the answer, because this riddle very, very difficult. Alright. Okay. Now let's see. Is he going to counter this one? Probably. Yep, counter that. Okay. Now the question is, do I just play that guy so that if he has a board wipe, I get another card in the graveyard? I think that's a good idea. Extinction event. Oh, that's bad, because this will then not go into the graveyard. Eek. Four cards. This will put 6 cards in the graveyard. Yeah, I think this is it's bad to destroy one of my own creatures, but I think this is a very rare opportunity where this is actually the correct choice, because now I have enough cards in the graveyard to be able to cast this. Oh, this is even better. Oh, this is even better. But let's bait out the counter, if he has a counter spell. Because if he has a counter spell, then it's simple bait. Right. Good. Yes, Wanker Chief, I did see the reveal of Demon Souls remake, and I must say it looks very, very good. From what I've heard, it's from the same people that remade the Shadow of the Colossus, and that remake is basically perfect, right? It keeps everything that was great about the first game, but just made it look more like a game of today. And if that's anything to go by, I would say it looks very good for the Demon Souls remake. Hashmalim, Darkest Dungeon? Yeah, so I have played that, and I thoroughly enjoy it. However, I think there are some problems with the game, or some game design decisions that I really didn't like. Namely, the fact that you have to recreate, like, you have your dudes die, and that is part of the game, but the process, it never feels good. Like, it never feels right, but it sometimes is right to let your guys selectively die and then recruit new ones. But recruiting new ones never feels good, even if it's the correct decision. And that is something that I found to be very not enjoyable. That was just playing it always felt wrong. No matter what I did, everything just felt wrong. And I know it's for some people might like that. I personally didn't enjoy it at all. Like the first few dungeons, when you're not like losing people all the time, they're okay, but everything else is a little So wait, let me think. He had a lot of creatures, right? He had a lot of. Maybe it's better to. But he also had counter spells. It's hard to say what to put in. Maybe Disdainful Stroke. Maybe Thought Distortion is not so good. No, SKR, the match is not finished. Magic is always best of 3. Right? Yeah, I know, Ashmalim. The setting is nice, right? The setting is very cool. But it's just that the core gameplay loop really went... Oh no, I misclicked. Oh, that was dumb. Oh, no. Just one land. Okay, this is lost. The core gameplay loop is I don't know, I just somehow felt like there were many gameplay aspects working against each other. At least I know that they're not, right? But they felt like they are, and that is not nice. Oh yes, okay, good. Wanker Chief, absolutely, and in fact, I will be getting a capture card very soon. Once webcams are available again, I will go and buy a capture card and a new webcam and upgrade my streaming a bit. What the fuck? Okay, let's discard this. Yes, I need that. I'm sorry. Now, he can play Banishing Light to immediately get rid of him. And while that would be okay, yeah, it's very bad. Like this guy here, this is by far the most broken card in Magic at the moment, in Standard. And yeah, playing against this is oftentimes not very enjoyable.
Don't worry, I got this.
Okay.
Stop that now.
Oh yeah, SKR, are you referencing the podcast where I said part of cosmic horror are the huge numbers that you have to deal with there? I still stand by that point. I think that was maybe I didn't get it across correctly, but I still feel like the sheer size of it all, the sheer numbers that you work with when you're thinking about cosmological terms is horrifying in itself, right? It's really brutal.
Time for plan B.
Nice. Whipped Wurstsalat. Yeah, but the whip is at some point it's going to become an old thing, right? So, Sabrina, yeah, this companion is new. It's a cat with horns now. You like the owl more? The owl? The owl? counters this. Right? He's going to cast Dovin's Veto on this, yeah. And now let's see. Yeah, I could destroy this, but then he would get 2 flyers, and I would still not be able to attack here. So I think the best course of action is just to just play this guy. Okay, Tom. Yeah, I'm excited to see what's in store for me there. Oh yeah, Resident Evil Village. So I mean, it's not much to go by, right? It's just
That's more like it.
a teaser. So as from what I've seen, there's like some gameplay, but not really, not that much. And dude, I'm excited. I think it looks very, very cool. The setting. At first, I was thinking like, okay, is this Dark Souls? Resident Evil Dark Souls? But honestly, I'm kind of excited. I really, really enjoyed Resident Evil 7. Yeah, that was a very good game. So I'd say, yeah, let the RE engine show what it can do. Okay, maybe he has another counter spell. Probably. No. Okay. Yeah, then Teferi dies. So he's gonna block here. Right. Yeah. And then Teferi dies. However, I'm still waiting on him casting Elspeth Conquers Death. That's indeed a spell that he could have, and I'm wondering why he hasn't played that yet. The all was better. Okay. Anton's Wrath? What is that even supposed to be? The good thing about our upbringing, Anton and me, was that whenever things got too heated, we could just flee and go somewhere where the other person wasn't annoying you. Oh, Exile. Interesting deck he's playing there, right? Am I hyped for GTA 5? No. Absolutely not. No, don't play anything, please. Yes. Yes. Destroy target creature, yeah. Oh, Bojima is making games in the RE engine. Interesting. So he tries to absorb. I am going to counter that. Right, and now I can animate the land and attack with both. Now he could block, and that would be fine. Am I going to stream more Soulsborne games? So, well, for the moment, I'm kind of through with them. Maybe you shouldn't have played that. There's no more new stuff, right? And I don't intend to become like a Soulsborne streamer. But for example, the Demon Souls remake, although that seemed like PS5, right? So it's still ways away, and it's also just PS5. Maybe, but in general, right at the moment, I'm not planning to do any more Soulsborne. dungeon. Okay, let's see.
The land fights for us.
Let's hope the damage goes through. Ah, no, he's gonna Shark Typhoon a 1/1 or maybe a kill spell. Yep. I mean, yeah, having your brother be many thousand miles, kilometers, I mean, away in a remote place, I did miss him a little bit, but he always gave me good stories to tell the people here, and I mean, just knowing that he's where he wants to be is so much better than having him be next to me, but him being miserable, right? So.
Glad to be here. Your father must
Take
have
this,
much
huh? Now I really need a destroy target creature type spell here. No, that's not it.
Witness the tide that bind us all. Behold, nature's true power.
Just takes a land, right? Yeah. So I get to draw, that's good. Let's use that right now. And not put that onto the battlefield because I can just cycle this for another card. Yeah. Line or Lain or Ialn or whatever that is pronounced. Yes, I did indeed try out Legends of Runeterra, the League of Legends card game. I must say, it's not bad. In fact, I would even say it's quite good. But it's just it's been the same experiences with all card games besides Magic. Like nothing even compares. It's and how can anything, right? Nothing is even close to the depth and gameplay variety and possibility of Magic the Gathering. So yeah, yeah. Alright, it's kind of a bummer that he removed Elspeth, but okay. 2, 4, 6, 7. This time I'm not going to make the mistake. Good. Oh, that's good. That's very good. With Casualties of War, I can really blow him out. Ooh. Ah, shit. Okay, now he has a lot of good targets for enchantment removal. So let's see. So this triggers and he gets a creature back from the graveyard. It could either be Seraph or it could be Teferi. On the other hand, having this thing run rampant here is also very, very bad. I was absorbed in thought. I think it's much more important to destroy it. However, I don't know. Like a Seraph is not a problem, really. No. So that's 6, 7. Play this, and then I have 2, 4, 6, 8 left. 10 even, yeah.
I protect that which cannot protect itself.
At the moment, I think we have enough mods. Let's hope that he doesn't counter this. Creature. Enchantment. Land. Please don't counter. No counter, please. Please. Alright, good. Good. But still, having him get something back with Elspeth does suck.
Elemental friend.
King in Yellow, isn't that from True Detective? How does it feel to be old? Bad, man. I hate it. Being old is shit.
In this land, we are all connected.
Ah, fuck. Oh, no. Oh, that's. I failed there. I should have destroyed Elspeth Conquer's Death. Oh my god. Oh my god. I messed up there. Yeah. If I played this, I lose all I have. While, okay, I get rid of this stuff. But, yeah, this is not looking good. Oh, this was horrendous. Oh. Oof. Oh, Xander, hello.
Come, create beautiful nightmares with me.
Oh man, this felt really bad. Oh, what have I done? Elspeth Conquers Jeff is just, this card is so fucking broken. Oh, what a huge load of ass!
Fade into the shadow.
And I put this thing into the graveyard myself. I really, that was like complete brain dead moment there. Yeah, now he has Extinction Event. I knew it. Good for me, though. Good for me. Because now I can cast my own Extinction Event and choose Odd, so that only exiles his. Yes, Riddle is coming. I said after this match. Magic cannot be rushed, okay? It takes time! Okay, at least I can counter this one. Oh, this is not looking good. Okay, let's see what the next card I draw is, and if it's not like immediately helping me turn around, for example, like a casualties of war, then I've lost. Oh my god.
I know my responsibility. Let's try this.
It's a casualties of war. Oh my god. Okay, cool. So what do I do? What do I do? Creature, enchantment, land, planeswalker. I am going to destroy this, this, and Teferi or no Ashiok.
Strange and magnificent world. The land shall conquer me.
No attack. And either he loses Teferi or he just loses both of these creatures. Okay, he loses Teferi.
Only time will tell.
Okay, that was a very good stabilization move, but I don't think it's going to be anywhere near enough to get back into this game. Like it looks horrible. Maybe just hope that he doesn't have any more real win conditions. However, I highly doubt it. 3 Shark Typhoons gone. Okay. We will see. We will see. We will see. No, I need a really big draw now.
I am fragile.
Okay, that is the worst possible draw that I could have gotten.
The land fights for us.
And now watch, she blocks, and I just get to exile 2 high value cards. No. Okay, this is over.
Forgive me.
There's no way for me to outvalue Elspeth Conquers Death. Let's draw a card. Oh. No. Not useful. Yeah, let's just attack. It's probably going to kill one of them. Yep. Exile. Not looking good. No, dude, I'm playing rather fast. Like, if you watch like really professional people play Magic, this is lightning speed for them. In general, Magic is a lot slower than this. Especially if you play in paper, it's even more slow. It's even slower. Yeah, maybe Liliana is not very good here. Take her out. Disdainful Stroke. No, Disdainful Stroke was good. Thought, Cheville. Against all of his creatures. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Hashmalim, I saw. Have never read it though. I don't know much about that story. Okay, if I don't draw a land next turn, this could turn out to be rather bad. But I had no choice. There was nothing could have done there. Oh, this is bad. This is very, very bad situation. Because now he's gonna play Teferi. No. Oh, okay. Let's draw one. Because I really need to make sure that I hit all the land drops, at least until like 5 or 6. While it's very easy for him to kill stuff I play, it still gets cards out of his hand. That's good. However, now I cannot counter anything he plays. And if he plays a Teferi now, I'm in big doo-doo. Please don't play Teferi. Or any other planeswalker for that matter. Shit. Not good, not good. Despark. Oh, fuck. And I can't play this because that would cancel here. Ah, this is Scheißdrecke. Teferi, great. No, I'm not so funny. This is game number 3. It's a best of 3. I did not start a new game. Okay, at least, okay, this turned out okay, because now I have, he didn't, no, he did use. I can at least, no, I can at least do attack here. I mean, he will exile Nissa now, but I hope that, so if I draw land next turn, I can at least Casualties of War and maybe slowly try to claw my way back into this. But I really should have animated, oh god, I should have animated a land so that I had mana open for the counters. No, because that wouldn't have worked because he first would have killed Nissa, right? So all good. Creature. Land and Planeswalker.
I have a plan. Let's slow this down.
So, okay, he probably has a counter spell, but still, I think it's still worth it to try and... Yeah, if he didn't have a counter spell, he would not have made this card come into play untapped, so that's gonna get countered. Hey, Ryan J plays. Yeah, I'm doing quite well. Thank you for being here. You are awesome. And don't worry, you can always check the streams at a later point in time. But every time you tune in, it's great. Okay. Yeah, after this game, 1000%. Like, if I no, I cannot start a new one, especially because then the stream will be over, right? So, no. Okay. I think the correct course of action would just be to do nothing here. And if he plays some high mana skill, a high mana card, I can counter it with Disdainful Stroke and still draw a card with a land. Arturo, yes, you are awesome. Okay, so he gets this one and I draw. Good. Do I need to kill this? I don't think so. I think it's more important to... Yeah. Oh. Achoo! Alright, get that card out of his hand. And now cast it again. And he has another counterspell, yeah. What a fucking cunt. Well, anyway, I needed to get them out of his hand somehow, right? So, having these two thought erasures were good things. Thank you. Okay, so he's just casting that guy. Why didn't I counter? Oh, probably because... Yeah, okay.
I won't forget our time together.
I could have countered this one, and maybe that would have been the correct choice. But I'm more afraid of other 4 mana stuff that he has. And I can... In my next turn, I can immediately destroy all the stuff that he got. So... It might be better just to... Well, he has white. Oh, if I destroy this, he has only 1 white mana left. Oh, maybe.
I have reached my limit.
Cycle. Okay, that is quite the good draw. However, just casting it now would kind of be a waste. I need to wait until next turn. Shovel doesn't help me at the moment. However, I'm kind of low on life. But I really need a extinction event or something. Oh my. So even. Not gonna lie, the luck, the draws were there this match. Okay, I was just gonna let him draw a lot of cards. Go ahead. Okay. It's not that important to counter his card drawing as much as it is important to counter his like real spells. Whew. People are protesting for Minecraft stream. Yeah, well, they can protest all they want. It's not going to happen. Never. Never! Elspeth. I tried to counter it, but he probably has another counter spell lined up. No! Oh! Oh, then he has another Elspeth. Yeah. What am I? Who am I even kidding? Oh no, that was wrong. I think I don't have a basic land left. Yeah. Good choice. So, 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so with Elspeth, he's 1000% gonna get back Yorion. So that he can flash all his enchantments. Oh. Ah, fuck. Yeah, there's not much I can do, honestly. All I can do is just draw, right? 4, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah. This card sucks so hard. This is such a bullshit card, man. How many casualties have I used? 3? Oh god.
The regrets of the dead. The shadows awaken.
Oh my god. Alright. Fuck that. Now, let's go riddle solving. She threw this at me. She threw this at me. She threw this at me. First assassination attempt. Oh my god. Yes, Bernardo, by the way, I rage quit Alt F4 there, right there, yeah. Magic brings out the worst in me. Anyway, so yeah, this you could see this strawberry as a form of instant karma. Okay. Man, what are you even doing? You're bullying my wife into bullying me. You monsters. Okay. Okay, now first let's do riddle real quick and then announce the winners and then we can all go and have a good night's sleep. Yeah, and I don't know why Anton has to fart all the time. That's just his kink, man. Don't ask me. I think it's horrible and disgusting. But apparently that's just his thing. Okay, so we were here with our dies, right? Now, for the first surface we paint, it doesn't matter, right? We paint one surface of each cube in one color. Let's just say black, okay? Now, there's no way for us to paint that to create any differences here, because it will just be one surface that is painted in the same color and okay. Good. What? Okay, okay. Then we pick another color and paint this top. So let's just turn it so that we painted the bottom surface black, right? And now we have 5 different colors to paint the top side. Let's just go with the top side now, right? Now there are 5 different possibilities because we have 5 more colors left. Okay. So we do this. Now we have 5 different cubes. Good. So far so good. Right, we have black on the bottom side, and then on the opposite side we have one of each of the 5 other remaining colors. Now we still have 4 surfaces left. Let's just call them A, B, and C, and D. Okay? Now we use a third color to paint one of these sides. It doesn't matter which one, because just by rotating you can just by rotating you will it doesn't matter which one, right? They're all the same. And then you have only 3 sides left, right? And with these 3 sides there are 6 possibilities to color them, right? So if you put the cube in a position like in a position like this, right, where it's here. Oh dear, this is awful. So this side, so the bottom side is black, right? Then this is color. Let's just do the same thing here, right? This is red, and this is blue. And you have many different combinations to do that, right? You have, so the bottom, I could paint this a lot more times, but the bottom one is always black and the top one is always one of the 5 other colors. Now, which color I choose here actually doesn't matter, right? The only important thing is that now we have 3 sides left and they are symmetrical, meaning that I now have 6 more possibilities, 6 more permutations with the remaining 3 colors for these 3 sides. I could, let's call the other, no, this one is blue, yeah, the bottom surface that you're not seeing is black, right? So let's say these colors are, I don't know, yellow, purple, and turquoise. Okay, so these three colors we still can distribute on these three sides. We now have 6 possibilities, right? We have yellow, purple, turquoise. Oh no, that's teal, I think. Yellow, purple, teal. We have yellow, teal, purple. We have purple, yellow, teal, purple, teal, yellow, and teal, purple, yellow, teal, yellow, purple. These are the 6 possibilities that we have to color the 3 surfaces in different ways. And this actually, since everything we did up until here was symmetrical, right? It could just be, it didn't matter what colors we choose here, because the other cubes would have then been able to just be rotated in a certain way that we end up back here. These are actually all the possibilities that there are, right? Meaning we have, so bottom black, opposite side one of the 5 colors, means 5 possibilities, and each of these cubes can then be colored in 6 more different ways. So it's 5 times 6, and that equals 30. Meaning there are 30 different ways to color cubes so that no 2 cubes can be rotated in such a way that they're the same. Okay, difficult riddle. I completely agree. And if I was tasked with solving it, it might have taken me quite a while. So, 5 people did it. Number 5, Illidan, after 26 minutes. Nice, better late than never. Number 4, Aritra. He's not here anymore, but Aritra after 9 minutes. Then number 3, Tom, after 6 minutes. Nice guy and big brain. Very good. Number 2, Adit Vikram after 4 minutes. And the king, Natam, solved it after just 1 minute. Oh my god. He good, man. He good. All right. This was it. Okay? So I hope it wasn't too horrible for you to either watch me explain the intricacies of Path of Exile build creation, or me completely raging at my failures in Magic Arena. That was... Man, that second game, I really could have won it. I gave that game out of my hand. That was stupid. Anyway, GG, my boys and girls. I'm so hyped for Friday. This will be the first... Oh yeah, come to Discord. Tom, I'm not sure. Maybe. If I find the time. Yeah. The answer was 30. By the way, 30 cubes. So yeah, I'm so excited for Friday. This will be the first league start that I will ever stream, and I've always thought about doing that, but yeah, as you know, in one of the podcasts, I explained why I then shied away from it all the time, but no more, right? It's time to do it. Just do it. All right. So, hope to see you all on Friday. It will be check the Path of Exile homepage for when the league is going to start. I don't know the exact time. I think it's either 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. Germany time. I will go live about, let's say, half an hour before that, and then we will fucking go through. Okay? So, goodbye. See you then. Bye-bye.